Hello ladies and gentlemen, Tricky Tracy here and welcome to episode 7 in the video review series. Today we're on Watchpoint Gibraltar. If you'd like to get involved, take a look in the description below, there's an email address to send any links to. So we're playing as Anna, gold rank, so we're expecting that a little bit more than we expected from our previous videos. Positioning wise, I'm loving this at the moment. So we've realised there's a Widowmaker in the other team, which means we can't expose ourselves too much. So we're just going to hang back here and put in healing like that. Okay, now there's action happening over there and we weren't looking, so yeah, it's perfectly fine to keep an eye on what's going around you, but make sure you're still always looking where the action's happening. Okay, so we drop down from really advantageous high ground, so we want to get something from this. And yes, you're calling out, or maybe that's your diva calling out to get in the cart. Okay, so why didn't I like that? So, firstly, you shouldn't be taking on Reinhardt 1v1 at all. You were lucky to get the sleep dart in, or maybe really skillful, it doesn't matter. When you slept them, you should have walked away, disengaged entirely, because you shouldn't be taking on Reinhardt's 1v1. Okay, smart there. The best way to take out Reaper is to throw the anti-grenade at his feet, that way he doesn't heal as he does damage, and he's no sustain left after that.
Yeah, they're bad me. Just, I'll come back to.
Okay, so comms are pretty good in this, and while I haven't seen you talking comms yourself, the team seems to do a pretty good job and you're able to follow that, so that's okay as a support main. Now we're aware now that Widowmaker is ultimate, so we don't want to expose ourselves at all. So this is the ideal location. We need to be aware at any stage people can come from the right hand side, so we didn't even look down the corridor that time. So maybe we could just keep an eye on our awareness. So what do we learn from what just happened? We used 2 DPS ultimates. We've no High Noon, and we've no Earthshatter. Doomfist one. Oh my god, it was amazing. Anyway, Meteor Strike. So we don't have those, which means the next fight the enemy come in, we're not as prepared as we would like to be. So we're going to have to do particularly good healing then. Okay, I'm assuming you meant to put that on the Roadhog there, because that would have been the ideal thing to do. I mean, it's a strong enough ultimate, and you can make it a lot stronger with Ana Boost. Okay, positioning again is fine. I'd like you to take a little look up every now and then, to make sure that some DPS character hasn't taken the high ground. I'm starting to enjoy the sleep charts, and believing as well they aren't as maybe lucky as I thought. Okay. You wait a long time to use the anti there. Remember that grenade helps out your team and damages enemies at the same time. So you want to use, especially in big team fights like this, you want to use that really quickly. And again, another really good sleep. So clearly the sleep darts aren't part of the issue, so why are you still in gold?
You're not getting rid of me that easy.
Engagements is one thing. You need to realise what characters you are and aren't going to take on. You shouldn't be taking on Reinhardt's. You were lucky that it worked out so well the first time. Positioning wise, so far, so good. I'm really enjoying this. You're staying back from the team while also putting yourself in a position where you can do damage and healing, which is important that you're able to do both of them. You rarely want to be in a position where you can only do healing. Sometimes it's necessary, but you want a very good excuse to do that. Okay, so we have an Ana Boost in line, and that's very good. We're looking to see what ultimates we have in line, because we'd like to give it to one of our DPS characters, or if Roadhog has his ultimate coming in line as well. Alright, this is fine. Again, we're very close to the payload now, so why don't we go up to the high ground and take a much more advantageous position from that. This is you pausing up, so let's just, it's not even worth skipping it, you're just going to jump back into it anyway. There we go. So, like I said, high ground, why don't we just take it? Okay. I think you just thought you're a little bit more skillful than you really are there. So that's not to discredit this, the really good sleeps you've gotten so far, but in situations like that, make sure you get sleep. Now, that means taking in a second and being up half health rather than 3/4 health. When you pull off, fine. Okay, now you're just showing off. That was stylish. Give it that. Okay. Even the grenades are pretty on point.
Get in there.
And that was a sensible use of the ultimate. The enemy were coming in very hard, and we found a character who was low on health but could also do a lot of damage. Better than nano boosting Mercy. So now we're on high-ish sort of ground, but not really. I really question why you're not going to the high ground. Like, you have these moments between team fights where you could get up there.
Feeling young again.
And also having someone on the high ground means Mercy can traverse up and down as well.
I will keep you healed.
30 seconds.
Good pick.
remaining.
Keep your head and let's take this home.
Okay. Yeah, this is it. This is us going to the high ground. If we could have done this a lot earlier and before an actual fight happened, because right now our diva is going to get her ass handed to her. Nicely. Okay, you're definitely not in comms. As Anna, you want to be in comms for the simple reason you want to be able to call out who slept when they slept. Because being able to call that out would have been a huge difference. Because it seems obvious to you, but it's not obvious at all that someone slept. And any character really is going to put some damage in. You have a Moira in your team, they won't even need to do damage, it just happens. I swear, that's my excuse, it just happens. Okay, it looks like we're going to win this one. Any engagement against Roadhog, you want to throw the anti straight away. That's your ultimate tool, because they're used to having 300 healing per second. Or not per second, per use of that take breather.
0 to 1.
But okay, really good first round. So we're just going to go in here and skip ahead. So team comp is obviously working quite well.
Never.
Skip why is this quite a long break between these halves? Okay, so we're scoping out what's going on, which is important because while the team comp definitely worked the first time, we don't know what we're facing yet. And it's nice to be able to adapt very early on, especially when you have the spawn and the ability to do so right by you.
Escort the
on the payload.
Okay, nice spot. You can help your team without taking damage.
I will keep you healed.
Now, I don't know why you wouldn't use the anti-grenade here to help out your team. Think about it, you're not going to use it for anything else. The enemies aren't going to come this far forward, especially not now. So you might as well throw it down, just boost the healing that you can do.
I keep you healed.
Okay, we're not really doing too much now, so we need to find a position without turning back to the enemies where we can benefit the team. At this stage, our job is only going to be heal the hog, put some damage in, heal the hog, put some damage in, until we wait for our div to come back. Alright, yeah, this positioning is fine. I mean, we're not gaining anything, but we're waiting. That's okay to do when we have 3 minutes in the bank. Unfortunately, we've lost another character, so we're that bit longer before we get those 6 men that we need.
Let's go over the top.
Okay, and your diva's made the correct call there. Let's take the high ground. Let's find another way around.
Jump's just gonna keep getting us.
Right, so very good positioning. You realise you need to be behind your tanks, and that's where you can do the most. Your diva has gone in alone though now, so why aren't you supporting her? You know she's down there, you know she's critical. Now, let's talk about this. Let's talk about when there's a big bright light on the screen. So, you nano boosted diva because she was low, which makes sense. I mean, it just objectively makes sense to nano boost her. However, you don't know exactly what's going on the other side. There could be 6 enemies, there could be a Bastion and a nano boosted Orisa and all these sorts of things. You don't really know what's going on there. So while it is good to help out your diva to help do some damage and the healing and all that, you don't really know what you're facing, so it's kind of a shot to nothing. If you had looked down from the high ground or spoken to your team and say, you know, what are we facing down there? Is there people out of position? Maybe be in a better position. And that all comes back to using comms and being active in comms. So this is a bit of a shot to nothing, and it's unlikely to succeed. Okay, for all the great sleeps you had, that was not one of them.
Alright. Come back, let's straight down.
Okay, so now you know a whole hog is ready, self-destruct ready. That really doesn't concern you all too much because you haven't gotten out of it.
I've only got one.
But you also know
Shield.
that when Roadhog uses whole hog,
So if I can
he
get
can't
a
heal himself, he
decent
can't take a breather during that.
Well, they get that main heal.
So you want to be ready to keep putting healing into
live
it.
dive with Diva. So she's still top
Yeah, sure.
5 times.
Right,
Where-
this is nice
where's
positioning. We had a little peek down there to see what sort of threats could be coming up,
Balcony.
and now we need to keep an eye on hog.
Heroes never die.
Okay, so we use Valkyrie,
She's low.
and that's a 7 behind the earth, this is fine. Put some healing in. Okay, why haven't we thrown the grenade earlier? We should have thrown it much earlier. Another gorgeous sleep, but there's no reason for you just to be good. You can be really good if you combine what you're doing already with the tips you're learning from this. So in fighting games like that, press E. Is it E on this? Yeah. Press E, use it quickly.
Fucking hell.
Use it often.
Jeez. Like, not swearing about you guys, but I'm just like, I didn't realise it pushed that far back.
Yeah, the payload had gone quite far back. We spent a long time thinking about the
Oh, nice.
enemy rather than the objective. That happens, that's okay. As long as you realise now and you found another nice position, sort of holding the payload a little bit and using it for cover as well. Okay. This is ideal. This is absolutely ideal.
I get that up.
30 seconds.
Okay. We could have thrown the grenade a little bit earlier in more of an arc, so it would have actually landed on the Roadhog as soon as the anti expired. Nice job waiting out the Riptide, because obviously as a healer, that's a big target. It has your name on it.
I think so, heals.
And especially on a character who doesn't really have that much mobility in terms of getting away from it. You gotta dodge, you just gotta not be seen by it in the first place.
Get in there.
Okay. I'm not sure who that nano is meant for. I mean, the sensible part of me thinks it was meant to just keep your diva alive, but clearly it worked. I mean, clearly you don't need to keep diva alive if there's no enemies to contest her. Like, again, we could have thrown a grenade in there. I mean, there's no reason not to. It's a relatively quick cooldown. Okay, and small things, let's say.
I just
You're
like how you
reloading.
don't everything basic.
Most of the time it is pretty good. You've no good times to reload. Because obviously you're kind of caught your pants down when you're reloading. Now, going back to sleep again there, if you're active in comms, you'd be able to say, look, Roadhog slept, let's not touch him, let's not do anything.
Alright.
Because any character over 300 HP, when they're slept, just leave them. And again with the Brigitte there,
I don't know.
I'd really consider investing in a headset just so you can call those things out.
Unlucky Anna.
No one can hide.
Okay, but you've been rezzed. Unfortunately, it's not the best position and you miss your sleep dart. And that's what's going to separate you in gold from you in platinum. When you're in platinum, you're going to hit those sleep darts every time. Especially these close range ones that you can't afford to miss in the first place.
I got my ulti.
So unfortunately, look, we died. Team is starting to fall apart a bit, mainly because we're giving 12,000 killing so far into the game.
60
Like, that's what I
seconds
thought the fucking
remaining.
music was for.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Okay.
You're going to
We're gonna
be
start
okay.
Still, probably like.
Okay, this is an alright position while we wait for the team to come together. But if we move a small further, we can see threats and react to them as well. Like we can afford to put some damage in here. We can throw a grenade and nothing up there because if we're not going to use it for anything else. Like, okay. Also, it's nice to spam. I'm sure it did. It's nice to spam if you're not in voice chat. That is your ultimate line, like, oh, have Nana's ready, have Nana's ready, about ultimate 99%, whatever, before you use it. Because that diva really didn't know, she was disengaging, she was getting ready for you to come in. And you kind of forced her to go in by herself. And especially Diva evidently being the shock caller in this, you want to help her out as much as you can.
Nah.
Now, I don't know why you ran at her, Brigitte. That was ill-advised. And look,
No.
unfortunately, due to a collection of smaller mistakes at the end, we lost that one.
Perfect.
We're good.
So let's talk about what was good at the end, while you stare at the defeat screen there. Throughout the whole game, positioning really good. There's times when maybe you could expose yourself a bit more. For example, when we opened the menu to see that Widowmaker was no longer on the enemy team in that first half, we could have gone a bit more aggressive because we're not going to lose our other eye. Which is a reference to both the lore and the only good joke I made about Nana in the last video as well. Accuracy, pretty bang on point. You need to use your, and sleep dart accuracy especially, nearly perfect. Nearly perfect. You seem to be worse at close range than medium range, but that's okay. You need to use your grenade a little bit more often, and you just need to realize you need to get on comms. That's it, pretty much. You need to get on comms. You need to use your grenades more often. Hopefully that was a benefit to you, and also a benefit to anyone else watching. Good night, guys.